What is over there? Oh, this massage.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
My hair is also not doing what I want it to, but that's just fine. So we're talking about dreams.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello? Are we recording?
We are recording.
Oh,
we've been recording.
Ah.
My sound is down for some reason. Oh, I think my actual sound is muted. Yes, it is.
Ha. And break. Oh, right. We need to wait for.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Slumber podcast
with Michelle
and the ever beautiful cat.
Shut up.
No. Anyway, so today we wanted to talk about dreams. I, myself, am a very vivid dreamer. I always have been. I have had many a recurring dream. Mine tend to always be more apocalypse themed.
It's like that's else. All you think about.
Oh my god, it's
all
like
the time.
No, but like there's that, and then like I'll have like just the occasional like, am I on an acid trip? Like kind of dream. Yeah. So, and I have been able to lucid dream. I've never like trained myself to be like, if you see the light switch, you can turn on lucid dreaming, or you know what you're dreaming kind of thing. I never did that because it happens often enough that I'm like, I get my kicks out of that, but I haven't really ever been concerned about it. What about you?
I have really detailed dreams. Also, disclaimer.
Oh yeah,
Michelle lives.
I live with my parents.
With her parents.
Once again, so does my sister. She is having a party right now.
Yeah.
In our mutual living space. So you'll just hear that in the background probably. We apologize.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But back to dreams. So yeah, I have really detailed dreams. So I have a fiance. He's pretty great.
Not sponsored.
So not sponsored. Oh yeah. I thought
you
meant
your fiance sponsored my podcast. Oh.
No.
Hi Dan, would you like to give us money? Oh yeah. Fiona. I also have Fiona and Luna in the room, so you will probably hear Fiona cry, and because Luna might try to jump up on the table. Well, they knocked over my garbage can.
Yeah, there have been multiple times, almost every single time at this point, where. Oh my goodness.
Fiona, honey.
I'll wake up and tell my fiance like, yeah, I had a dream last night, and then I'll just go super in depth about all these little teeny tiny details, and he's just like, why are your dreams so detailed?
Yeah. Dan has like very rare detailed dreams. Most of the time he's like, I don't know, I think I died.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he remembers details from his too, but they're like pretty big ones. Like, yeah, I got stabbed. Like,
he was like ends up getting injured somehow.
Yeah,
it's all those video games.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, no, like I'll just go in to be like, yeah, and then I was underwater, but it was like this dome thing. Like I can specifically remember exactly what a lot of my dreams have looked like in the past, and like I can draw them out, and like connect different parts in time, and like be like, oh, this led to this, which led to this.
I'm just gonna let her out.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. Quick break.
Ha. Hi.
But yeah. We're going to talk about dreams. And as far as lucid dreaming is concerned, I think that's a very interesting topic. I've intentionally lucid dreamt a few times and then unintentionally lucid dreamt far more than intentionally doing so.
You lucid dream more than anybody I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just because your brain is always like,
is this reality?
This isn't real. do what you want. And you're like, all right.
Just so, like, I've had to ground myself in reality so many times that I'm just so used to being like,
is this real?
wait a second. This doesn't make sense.
There aren't shapes in the sky.
Hold up. Actually, like, if I could start with my most recent dream that I remember.
Go ahead.
I had to go back to high school.
Gross.
Now, as a 25-year-old individual.
Oh, I had one of those. I'll tell my nephew.
I remember because like there was some class like that I just like some credit that I just missed, and so like I needed to get my diploma, so I needed to go back to high school, and like as a 25-year-old person, I remember being there and being like, wait, everybody got their schedules in the mail, I didn't, because like I don't know where to go. Where do I go?
Yeah.
And so I was like looking around, and then I was like, I kind of like found, I was thinking about the class that I was supposed to take, and it was something about like this documentation system on the internet that our work uses.
Mhm.
And I had to take a class on that. And I've been doing that for like 2 years now. And I just remember like going up to like one of the it was either a school counselor or like the front desk lady or something, and kind of being like, look, like I've been using this system for multiple years now at my job. Like, I honestly think I know this system better than like half your staff.
Yeah.
And she was like, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But, and then I was like, wait a second. How am I going to do my job? How am I going to go to school and also have enough time to do the job that I do? Oh, well, you know, there's students who work after school, so like I can do that. But like, yeah, that's mostly seniors, and I'm 25. So, and I just like was walking down the halls and like saw one of the teenagers that I work with, and he's like, "Oh hey," and I'm like, "Oh hey, you."
Yeah.
Hello.
Did you have it like at our high school, which will remain unnamed?
No, it was
just some random place.
Yeah, it wasn't a real high school that I don't think I've ever been to, but I mean, like I could draw out the layout of exactly what it looked like, but that's kind of boring, so I'm not gonna do that.
How did the dream end?
That was it.
Oh,
yeah. I just like saw this kid, and I was just like, oh hey, and I was just walking down the hallway, and that was it.
I've had almost like the exact same dream of like I woke up and was like, for some reason was like I have like 3 credits or something that I'm missing. I have to go back to high school to get my diploma. Not like you know GEDs don't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I remember being like, oh hi, I'm an adult, but I need to go to this high school class, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem, just sign out this form, and I was like, what? Alright, cool. But like for some reason, like everybody, like I was definitely my age, like was an adult, was 26 at the time, and but everybody in high school was like, if the people that when you graduated, the people that were juniors were seniors. So I was going back to school with them, which made no sense because now they're all so in their 20s, but they were their teenage selves. Yeah. And they were like, oh my god, why are you here? Are you a super senior? And I was like, I'm a super duper senior because I'm 26. And I just like had to go about life. But it also then turned into a like I had no supplies, I had nothing, and then somehow I just lost my pants. Like I didn't like not have them. I just was like suddenly walking around. I was like, oh my god.
That's like the stereotypical. I was back in high school wearing pants. Like I don't know. Like
yeah. I was like, oh, I'll go to the Lost and Found and find something, you know, because our high school always had random items of clothing. Yeah. Including pants, which I was like, who was losing pants? Apparently it's common. But I just like couldn't find pants, so I was like walking around with like a jacket as pants. Yeah, it just.
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and I was like, why can't I just go home and get pants? I don't live that far.
Yeah, no. You could. I mean, like it would take forever, but you could walk from the school that we went to too.
No, I definitely had a car. I just like was like, oh, this is my solution. Jacket pants,
jacket pants.
Yeah, I've had that dream like multiple times actually, where I've had to go back to high school for some reason, and I'm always like, there are other ways than going back to high school. Like it's one of those things that like it's built in innate fear that like somebody's gonna be like, you need to go back to high school and take one class. And our high school had semesters too, so that shit's long.
And like, I love studying dreamology. I think it's so interesting, and
like
I love
the falling out thing.
Yeah, I mean like that's pretty basic.
I have that dream on occasion, and I always wake up and I'm always like, ah, ah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotta
Yeah.
check my teeth.
I've only started having those after I'm not wearing them now because I don't wear them for the podcast because they make my speech kind of funny. But only I can pick it up though because it's my voice and I hear it all the time. But I've been wearing aligners, and ever since I started wearing those, occasionally, I think usually when I change out a new set, so like there's something wonky going on in my mouth, like I'll have those dreams where like my teeth are just like disintegrating and turning into ash and falling out of my mouth, and I'm just like and then I wake up and I'm like
mine have never disintegrated. It's literally been like something I've been like, oh, this tooth kind of hurts, and I'll like mess with it and pull it out,
and you're like,
and then I'm just like, what? And then I'll like mess with another one, and it will come out. And then I'll just be like going to my mom usually, mean like my teeth, and then they just like start coming out, and I'm like spitting them out.
Yeah. I've only had that like once or twice in my entire life.
Oh, it's not fun. I do not recommend.
I bet.
But usually the thing is, people like there's so many interpretations for that one. There is one most common, which I'm not going to state because this is not family friendly, but meh, we'll not go there. But for me, it's always happens when somebody starts talking about the dentist. Like they've been to the dentist and they need to go to the dentist because I really need to go to the dentist because I still have my wisdom teeth and I need to get them removed, which is teeth being taken out. So then my brain, usually like a week or two after somebody talks about it, will have that dream because it's like, dentist,
so now
remove
you're
your
probably
teeth.
Gonna have to expect.
I'll probably have it in a couple weeks. I'll probably have the teeth dream in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
And the thing is, like, I've never really I've never had teeth issues. Like I've only ever had one tooth pulled. Because one was growing in odd, so they had to pull out the other one so it could just grow in normal. Yeah. I don't know, I'm not a dentist. But it was just a weird concept for me to have, so. But yeah, teeth dream, don't recommend. That's the only, like, stereotypical one that I have besides the pants thing.
Yeah. Occasionally I'll have ones where, like, I'm not wearing clothes. And then, like, so I used to have them a lot more than I do now. But I think, so the theory behind dreams and why you have them, the Jungian theory, which is
J-U-N, not Jung is a
Jung
riddle.
is a psychologist that existed a while ago. And his theory on dreams, which I highly agree with, is that dreams are kind of like when your subconscious has something that it needs to work out, but it can't give you like the direct answer usually because that's too much for your psyche to handle when you're sleeping. So it'll kind of like mask what it's trying to tell you in different ways.
Stories.
So yeah, and like you can trace a lot of common themes, but when it comes down to it, interpretations are different for every single person. Yeah. So for me, like if I have a dream that bananas are in, then I'm probably gonna think of something along the lines of like, I don't know, like I don't like bananas, so it would probably be a negative connotation for me. Whereas Michelle,
being chased by a horde of bananas.
Like it's not like I hate them. I'm not scared of them. I'm just kind of like, I mean, I can eat it, but if you have anything else, I'd rather eat something else. But you know, like for you, a banana might mean something else. Like, I'm not gonna go. Oh, hello, garage. Yeah.
Something else.
Something else.
But yeah, every dream, like, I do subscribe to the Jungian like term of thought, like your brain is trying to work something out. Like I said, I've always had a vivid imagination, like vivid dreaming kind of a thing. So for me, like, there's definitely ones where, like, if I have, like, a dream where I'm distressed, I feel like that is my brain working it out. But also, like, I just will have storyline dreams where they go on for, like, what feels like months or years. And I feel like that's just my brain is bored. Like, I'm bored. Usually when I have those kinds of dreams, I'm just like, I'm bored of life. Yeah. Like, it's just, I've been doing a routine for so long, I need to do something to spice it up, I need to change something. So I'll have really intense story dreams. So, and I have this one, like I have, most people don't, like, have reoccurring nightmares, but I have this one that's always kind of freaked me out. Did I ever tell you about the lady with the eyes?
No.
Oh. Well, you're gonna learn something as well as them.
Alright.
So, like, there's this figure, and, like, the dream's never the same. It's
Mhm.
always different. But it's just this figure that pops up on occasion, and it's always a woman, but, like, she has eyes, but they, like, move around her body.
Okay.
Like, they'll start out, like, normal, but
Mhm.
then, like, she'll blink and they'll, like, move other places and, like, go around
Mhm.
and whatever. And, like, initially when I was a child, she would just kind of be, like, in the background of stuff.
Mhm.
Like, just there.
Yeah.
Like, just blinking and being weird. And I was always like, and, like, ignored it and went on with my life. But when I got into my teenage years, she started being in the forefront. And when I was an adult, she developed another power where she could, like, go into people. And so, like, I remember one vivid dream. I was talking to my neighbor who lives across the street from me, and she blinked, and then her eyes were on her cheeks, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And like she kept blinking and kept moving, and then she just smiled, and her teeth were just like these sharp points, like the lady's was, and that was like, "Huh!" And then she started
just like a shadow figure with like eyes and teeth.
The best way I can describe it. Did you ever play Left 4 Dead?
Long time ago.
Do you remember the witch? The thing that the cry, like the pale figure that like would just like sit there and go like,
"Oh yeah,
yeah," and then get up and scream and chase you with her long claws.
Yeah,
that's the best way I've been able to describe this thing. Jesus. Except for it has long black hair.
Yeah.
It's just a pale woman
All
with these
scary
eyes.
People have long black hair.
Yeah. Well, she has yellow eyes, but they have red towards the iris. Mm. And the thing is like when now that she can possess other people, basically in my dreams, when she blinks and they move for the first time, that person's eyes, whatever color they were, my neighbor's eyes are blue. When they open them again, they're hers. And then like their fingers just turn into these weird black claw things, and she just does that smile and just starts chasing me, and I have to run, and it's great. Your eyes just dilated as I was talking about this. Yeah, it's a great time. But yeah, she's always kind of been there, and like I feel like she shows up the most when I'm just like going through like a distressing period of time. Personally, not like if it's like any like family issues or anything like that. It's just like if I am upset and don't know like why, she starts showing up. I think she hasn't been around a really long time, but I've also been really happy for a while, so that may be just why she's not around anymore. But
I'm just happy that you're so happy.
But she's just there. Like I have reoccurring dreams. I've also had dreams. My favorite one. When I was a kid, I used to have this dream because there used to be these I Spy movies where they would just like show an area and like kind of like pan over it and you try to find things and then they would circle them afterwards. And my brain, there was one specifically, there was like a block world-esque thing looking whatever, like not like Legos or anything, like those wooden blocks where you have like the weird arch ones and you build like little cities. And that stuck in my brain as a child, and I had like almost a civil war. Like I woke up in like this wood block town basically. And it was the Barbies versus the teddy bears. And I was on the teddy bear side, and I was like a general or whatever. And like we were on roller skates. I don't know how to roller skate. I've never known how to roller skate. But that was the whole thing.
It's like the epitome of a child's dream.
Yeah, and like our weapons were like those like interlinking like stick things.
Lincoln logs.
They're not Lincoln logs. They were like the plastic things where you'd like click them into each other. I don't know what they're called. But they used to, like, they would be the things that made, like, the Ferris wheels and all that kind of stuff.
I think I know what
you know what you're talking about. Like, yeah. Meh. Anyway, but, like, that would be, like,
our... Have an answer, leave it in the comments.
That would be, like, our weapons kind of a thing. And I had that dream for, like, a week straight. Like, just a continuation each night of, like, the saga of the battle, basically. And by the end, the teddy bears won, and we were cheering, and then I woke up, and I never had the dream again. And I was like, cool, the teddy bears won. And then I remember specifically I was an adult. I think it was like 19, 18 range. And I remember I fell asleep and I woke up again in that world, only like things were toppled and on fire. And like this
teddy bears did not do a very good
job. This
job.
really old like teddy bear like came out of nowhere, and like this point in time they had guns because I was an adult. But they were still like toy guns.
Teddy bears with guns.
But they were toy guns. They were like a squirt gun and like that kind of stuff. Like they weren't like machine guns. They like had like fake guns kind of a thing. And I just remember like the teddy bear popping up and being like really old, like had the eye patch and the scar kind of thing.
Of course.
Like grizzled mug, and I just remember like him being like, General Michelle, and I was like, what? He goes, you disappeared and everything went shit basically. And I was like, what's happening? And like like a whole other like faction came in and like tried to defeat them all and take over, like an alien kind of thing. And I had to help the Barbies and the teddy bears take back their land, basically. And I had that same dream for a week straight. And once we got to the end and we had won and we were beginning to rebuild, the teddy bear looked at me and was just like, you're gonna leave again, aren't you? And I was like, I think I have to. And I was like, I don't think I'll be back at this point in time. He goes, I think we can do this on our own. Thank you for your help. And then I woke up and I was like, this is the saddest way to wake up. I like literally like woke up and was so sad because I was like, I hope they're okay. My brain made them up. But I was like,
I wouldn't be surprised if you just like somehow hopped into an alternate dimension.
Universe. Yeah, of blocks and teddy bears.
Yeah. And like that was real. You had such a profound impact on the teddy bears and the Barbies.
Yeah, I was just like, what is happening? But yeah, it was weird to go back as an adult. Like, I didn't even remember the dream from a childhood until I had the adult dream.
Yeah.
And then they've always kind of stuck with me since then. Mm-hmm. And we still rolled rollerblades when we were adults. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it was interesting to like, kind of like, my brain was like, hey! We're gonna do this again.
Hey, remember this?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
I do.
Back.
Well, it's also just like your brain never forgets anything, even shit that it made up itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
wild. It's the cat.
I mean, anything that you think of or make up is based off of something that you actually saw in your day-to-day life, even if it's something as minor as, I don't know, like the plant that was on the front desk of the school that I was at the other day. Like,
well, and it's like every face that you've ever seen in a dream is a face you've seen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know the person, you've probably seen them, like just passing in a car or something like that. Because I've had lots of times where I've literally like been like driving down the road, I'll look over and I'll just be like looking at somebody and I'm like, I'm probably never gonna see this person again.
So you think.
So I think. They pop up in a dream, but I don't remember where they're from. Yeah. I'm like, oh, there was just this dude there. I don't know who he is.
I have a question.
I have an answer. Maybe.
When did you start seeing the lady in your dreams?
I think the first time I saw her, I was really young. I remember it was like a dream about, like, I made the shapes joke earlier, but I think it was about 3-ish. And I was dreaming about shapes and just like being colorful and like they were dancing around and it was like a me in like a dome watching a laser light show, but it was just a bunch of shapes and colors and I was just like, and she was just like off in the corner in the dark being like, and I was like, that's weird, colors, because I was 3. But yeah.
So this next question is probably gonna creep you out a little bit if the answer is a certain answer.
Okay.
Had your grandmother passed away by that point?
Edna?
Yeah.
No, she died when I was in high school.
No, the other one.
What other one?
The one that, the really vindictive one.
That was Edna.
That was Edna?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I only had the one.
Oh,
Hi, my grandmother was awful. She's dead. I don't care. Anyway.
Thanks for coming to our show.
That's a story. That's a story for another day. We're not going to process my trauma right now. Thank you.
Anyway, I was just wondering.
No, she died when I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay. So honestly, it's probably just like a manifestation of.
I think it's just a
stress.
manifestation of my stress and fear.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense. Ooh, maybe it's your dark self.
My dark self that moves eyes.
Yeah, your shadow self.
Blink by.
Because you're constantly aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm. I am very observant. I've always been told that I have eyes in the back of my head, so maybe I do. Nope. Have you ever had any dreams that like you had as a child and had again, or remember anything like that?
Never had a reoccurring dream.
Oh, really?
Ever in my entire life.
Ever?
Oh. I have had reoccurring themes, and but even that is just like
But never the same dream twice.
the closest thing that I've had to the same dream twice is actually sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ouch. Oh my god. Just you think that's bad.
No, I know. Yours are. I've only had it a couple times. Yours are way more intense than I've ever had.
Oh god, they're the worst because like my sleep paralysis every single time it always feels like there's something else in the room with me. Not someone, something. And like my brain of course always goes to the paranormal because that's just what I am scared of. And so uh it used to happen a lot in the last place that we lived in.
The condo?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. There was just like a short period of time where it just happened a lot. And I don't even think I did anything to like to kind of come up with an idea of the paranormal. Like I wasn't looking into anything like that. I wasn't reading scary stories or anything. There was just like a couple month period where I would just have sleep paralysis like that constantly. And it was always just like I would just feel I'd be laying down and I would just feel like there was something standing in one of the corners. Or like peeking out of the closet or peeking out of the door or something. And like the worse that it got, like because I would just it was sleep paralysis, so like I couldn't move, and I was awake sort of, um, but I specifically remember the worst that it got. I was like laying down, the sleep paralysis started happening, and I'm like, oh, fuck, not this again. And like it's just sleep paralysis, I'll be fine. Like trying to soothe myself, and like just getting the feeling that there was something at the end of the bed.
You can't see it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to open my eyes because whatever is there, I don't want to give it any kind of hint that I'm awake right now. And so then it got to the point where like I started panicking, like full blown panicking, and like I remember feeling like the weight of the blankets on my foot, and then I was sleeping like with one leg kind of like
a tree pose,
resting, yeah, like resting on my like my foot resting on my knee, and so one of my legs was sticking out, and I just remember like imagining the worst possible thing, and then I started getting the real sensations of like whatever it was at the end of my bed grabbing my ankle and just like pulling me off of the bed, and just like just sheer panic. And then just like I don't even think I woke up from that. I just remember like waking up the next morning and being like, ah, ah, ah,
I'm in the bed.
Ah, ah. Yeah, so it was awful. And like that's the only time that I've had reoccurring themes.
Yeah.
Is like shadow people standing around wherever I'm at.
What was happening during the period of time?
Mm.
Just a random, like, nothing intense happening or anything like that?
There may have been something intense happening. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember connecting that. I was working. I was pretty stressed at work just because, like, I was super burnt out at my job.
Mm-hmm.
The job I had before this one.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was probably it. But holy hell, it was the worst. It was the worst. I hated it a lot. And that's the only time that I was ever like touched by one of the shadow people that show up in my dreams. And like
no, I dislike
mm-hmm.
Michelle disliked this. Yeah.
Ugh.
I have reoccurring nightmares. I'm terrified of elevators. Purely because I was trapped in one when I was about 8, and it was like in my old church. I think it was like the last time I even went to church, to be honest. Not because I was like, fuck the elevator. It was because I just didn't like Catholicism. But I remember being in the elevator and like these stupid boys were
Mhm.
down below it yelling like it's gonna fall, oh my gosh, it's gonna fall, oh my gosh, and like that just freaked me out so much. And like I think it was like the first time I ever had a panic attack
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And then I just refused to go in them for years afterwards until my mom was like, you need to get over this,
Yeah.
and dragged me to the elevator, and I was screaming and crying, and it was fine. But I just have these dreams, and I know it every time now. Like I know I'm dreaming, but I can do nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
And it's anytime. So it's something ridiculous. I have to go to some meeting on like a 103rd floor, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go up to about 90, and it's gonna go cuckoo, and it's gonna start falling. Guess what? It goes up to about 90, goes and starts falling. But my brain likes to change things up a little bit and be like, oh, one rope has broken, so like the elevator falls like sideways, which could never actually happen because the shafts are very, very tight.
Yeah.
So like there's no way something can just swing and like land
Yeah.
sideways, but my brain's like, physics don't work here. So there's that, and then like the sensation of like the falling and being lifted off the ground from the force, and I'm just like, I know what's coming, and then as it gets towards the ground, then I just go and wake up out of bed. So
God, that feeling of the
yeah, like and the thing is like I don't like elevators for that reason, and I also like it's my two fears combined because I'm not afraid of heights. Heights don't bother me. I can be up. I'm like, ooh, whatever. But it's the sensation of falling. So like when the plane's like leveling out, and you get that drop out under your seat thing, or like roller coasters, won't do them. It just they give me panic attacks. I don't like the sensation. I hate it. I hate flying so much. I still do it because I know the destination is going to be great, but like the process of getting there is just like, yep. Like I flew to Virginia for a friend's wedding with another friend, and we transferred from a regular plane to one of those little bush planes.
Oh.
Yeah. So flying in, there was a windstorm, and we were like, bum, 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 and I almost broke her hand from how hard that I was squeezing it, because I was like, we're going to die. I'm not saying these things out loud. My panic is all internal and like a lot of gripping. Because I don't like to freak other people out around me, because I know other people also have fears of flying, so I'm not trying to like trigger other people into panicking as well. So it's just me sweating, gritting my teeth, and yeah. So, but the fear is so intense, like I can't eat like 24 hours before I go on a plane, otherwise I'll throw up. Like it's just it's not a good time.
I'm really excited to go on a plane with you to my bachelorette party.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a prescription for that, so something to make me a little bit more calm. Yeah. So it's a legitimate fear. Like it's
that manifests in your dreams.
Yeah. So it's the elevator plus the sensation of falling. I hate it. I know it's gonna happen, but now I'm apathetic to it in my dreams. I'll just be like, because nothing can stop me from going in the elevator. There's something I will always get in the elevator, even though I know it's going to fall. Yeah, I know it. There's only one time in my life I've ever made it to the actual floor. Like, I'm taking the stairs down. And I was like, oh, maybe my dream is over. Maybe I'm over it now. No, I had one not that long ago. And I was like, no.
Not another one.
Yeah. But though it's just like, it's just so weird to me that your body can literally remember the sensation of falling so much that it's like convincing you, like, falling.
This is what's happening.
Yeah. Then you wake up and you're in your bed.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me. Like, falling dreams, like, I like the sensation of weightlessness. I enjoy that. So, I don't know. That's something that happens to me a lot, too. Actually, the most recent time that I had a lucid dream. I don't know why. I just lucid dream a lot. But what had happened? I don't remember all the details of the dream. See, what had happened was, but yeah, I don't remember all the details. I do remember that I was on a beach when something happened, and I was just like,
let's go to the beach.
Nicki Minaj.
Sorry. You're at the beach.
Yeah, something happened. Something happened for me to kind of be like, wait a second. I'm dreaming. Cool. Well, like, there's always that moment of lucid dreaming where you're like, what do I do now?
Fly.
Anything? Yeah, I tried that. And so I was just like, I'm going to fly. And then I kind of like started like lifting off and having like such extreme weightlessness to the point where I was getting super dizzy, um, and it like I felt like I was about to throw up, and then like I started feeling like really grounded. Like there was like a stronger force than gravity just like pulling me back down, and then like trying to like jump up to fly again, but then like something pulling me back down. So
What if you were almost astral projecting yourself and your body was like, no,
probably
stay here?
that's probably what happened actually,
Yeah.
because a friend of mine and I were talking about that like the night before.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of like, I should try doing this.
See, the only times I ever lucid dream, and it's truly the only times I ever lucid dream, it's something's happening, like I'm a superhero or something, and I'm flying through the air, but it doesn't feel like that weightlessness feeling. It just feels like I'm normal gravity, like sitting down, and I'm just flying, and then I'm always like, wee, and then I'm like, wait, I hate this. So then I'll like be back on the ground. I won't fall. I'll just be back on the ground.
Just, like,
and then I'm like, I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me try to fly again. And it's the same thing. I'm like trying to fly, but my brain's like, you can't fly.
Yeah.
This is physics. Humans don't fly. You're dreaming. Yeah. I can't, like, I know I'm dreaming, but I can't make anything happen. Like, I can make people appear and, like, that kind of stuff and, like, do things, but I can't, like, make myself fly.
Yeah.
Because my brain forever wants to be rational unless it's making its stuff up. I can't make my own decision. My brain is a separate person. His name is Kevin. I don't know why I have a male brain, but I do. But like, yeah, it's just like, if I am aware of what's happening, I can only like do things that are physically possible in the world, besides like, you know, creating things and make things happen. But I can't like make superheroes or anything like that. Yeah. I can make scenarios happen, but I can't do anything like fantastic. So it's, my brain just is like,
I should try doing
control
that.
of this.
Next time I'll have to like, next time I lucid dream, I'll try shooting stuff out of my hands and then get back to you guys.
I'm an airbender now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's just my brain, once I figured it out, my brain just switches back to the rational, and I'm like, alright.
Yeah. My lucid dreaming for me only happened, it's very, very short. So I had a friend who was intentionally trying to lucid dream years and years ago. And he was just like, yeah, so every time I do it now, I just set everything on fire. Because it's fun. And so I tried it, and then I was just like, what's that? It's just everything's on fire now. Nah. I don't like, I specifically remember, like, doing that and being like, this is boring. And then being like, I don't want everything to be on fire anymore. Instead, I want the person that I'm crushing on right now to be here. And so then I did that, and then I was entertained.
Yeah. I've done that, too, where you make somebody, you're like, I want to hang out with John Barrowman, and then he, like, appears, you know? Like, stuff like that.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just never thought
I'll hang out with people that I like as celebrities.
Yeah.
Or, like, YouTubers. Like, I've had a dream where I made, like, Jenna and Julian appear.
Oh.
And I just, like, hung out with them. It was a lot of fun.
That would be
like, we were friends, and I was like, this is great. When I woke up, I was like, damn it. We had a good time.
You don't know that we could be such good friends.
Well, it's, yeah, like we said with the YouTube episode that we did. Like, it's just, I've watched them for so long, they feel like my friends that, like, but they have no idea who I am. And my sister was like, that's called fandom. And I was like,
it's a really weird relation. But, like,
but it feels
so
different.
Many intimate details about their lives.
And they know nothing about mine.
Like,
hi, Jenna, I don't know if you're seeing this. I don't know why you would. But, like, if you want to be friends, or if you're ever coming up to, like, Washington, DM me, I guess.
If you want to officiate my wedding, please.
Oh, yeah. Official shout out. Hey, Jenna, want to come officiate Kat's wedding?
Do you think they could get the Sirmits ordained? And then we could have Sirmit. Dan would never go for that.
No.
He would never go for that.
My name is Kermit and I officiate your wedding.
Hello, my name is Sirmit. Sirmit is here to officiate your wedding.
You need end water so you can end grow.
Sirmit sprinkle end water on your face.
Yeah. So your relationship can end grow.
If you don't watch Jenna Marbles,
you have no idea what we're doing.
Any sense.
But yeah, no, it's just like that's what I'll do if I'm lucid dreaming. Also because I know if I figured out that I'm dreaming, I know I'm gonna wake up pretty soon, and I'm like, no, my powers. So yeah,
I'll see if I can make like super frost come out of my hands.
Elsa. Let it go.
I forgot that you saw that recently.
Yeah, I saw Frozen 2. I recommend it. It was really good. Made me cry.
Aw,
In a good way.
I know.
Yeah.
Feelings.
I like Elsa.
I like
I mean,
her.
I like the story. I don't like Elsa. I don't identify with Elsa. I actually identify with Anna, but
I'll have to watch it.
the younger sibling.
I'll see it eventually.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Mhm.
You can watch it on your own terms instead of watching Frozen every day forever. Yeah, my apocalypse dreams, they're usually the same. It's usually zombies because my brain likes them. For some reason, it's usually winter. I don't know why.
That would be the best time to defend yourself against zombies.
Well, I think it's mostly because for some reason my brain's convinced that the zombie apocalypse would happen in spring or summer. So by the time winter, everybody's mostly dead. So, but it's usually like I'll be in the most common theme, like it'll be the same setting, but different people involved. And the most common theme I have is like I've assembled this people. We're living in tree houses in a random forest. I don't know where we are. We're just in a forest living in our tree houses because that's zombies can't climb. So it's the most defensible thing.
Well, not that we know of.
Well, the zombies in my dream, they're the slow shuffling ones. So they can't climb. They're like
zombies.
Yeah, just not into it.
Can Minecraft zombies climb ladders?
I don't think so. No, they might be able to. We haven't ever used ladders.
I feel like I've seen them climb. No, maybe that's not what we're talking about.
I don't think they can climb ladders. I don't think that's the thing that's put in because I specifically remember climbing up to like the top of a roof.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in the most recent updates.
I don't think so. I was talking to a guy that was developing for Minecraft actually, and I don't think so.
Hello, we're mid-20s and we play Minecraft.
We play video games.
Come at me. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just living in these tree houses, and it's always the same thing. Me, because I'm always the leader, because I would be de facto, because I have all the plans. Me and some person. The most recent one that I had, it was Dan, actually, which he's now infiltrated my dreams, so, yep. But he and I were leaving to go hunting, because we gotta eat. So we were looking around for deer, and I remember he and I were, like, crouched in this tree topper stand thing, like, waiting for things to walk by, talking about how it's so cold, and, like, the food is starting to get scarce. Like, we are always prepared, because it's my dream, so I'm assuming I am. And we hear walking, so we get ready to, like, pull up our guns and stuff or whatever. And then we always see people, and it's always somebody I know, and it's always somebody I haven't seen in a while. And I always have this decision of, do I reach out to them to take them back to our place, or do I let them continue to stumble around in this cold? So, sometimes I don't make the one you think I should. Depending on who it is. So, yeah. But it's always the same concept. Like, we see somebody, I'll either invite them back or we don't. Sometimes it's other people's people kind of a thing. Like, I had a dream one time where I have a friend, Renee. It was one of her ex-boyfriends. And I was with her, and I was like, do you want to invite him back? And she was like, I guess. And I was like, alright. And then everything went to shit because he wanted to be in charge. And I was like, I regret this decision. So, if she's with me in the tree stand, I don't trust anything she says in my dreams anymore.
If she's in the tree stand, I don't trust what she has to say in the
Truly,
tree stand.
it's like, usually, actually, now that I think about it, now that I'm reflecting on my dreams, it's more often than not when we're in the tree stand, it's usually somebody that the person who's with me knows. So, like, it's, I would say about 70-30, me being the 30, it's somebody I know that I have to make a decision on, but it's usually the other person's thing. I don't know why I'm having dreams for other people, but it's their moral decisions.
Because you think about other people a lot.
I mean, I do, yeah. But
also, in dreams, people are supposed to represent either just like you just see that person a lot, and so they're in your dreams.
You're always in my dream. Like, literally, if I'm having a dream about anybody, if there's people involved, Kat is there. She's always there. And you're like one of the few people that also never dies in my dreams.
That's so awesome!
My brain doesn't want to kill you.
Oh, I'm thoroughly convinced that if, like, I don't know, in any kind of, like, zombie apocalypse, I would not last very long. I'm convinced.
I think it would depend on when it started
Yeah.
and where you were.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of based off of luck.
yeah. Because the
Yeah.
thing is, if it doesn't start in the United States,
Yeah.
like I feel like we're pretty quick to shut down our borders.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we would be. I feel like
I feel like
I feel like it would be okay. Specifically, also because we do live on the western Washington side, we are protected a lot by the mountain ranges.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like if there were zombies or whatever, they would freeze by the time they got over the mountain pass, or we'd be like the mountain pass roads are also very thin. So you could literally set up a blockade and stop things from getting there. So we're pretty defensible on this side, as long as we protected the borders of the mountains and the ocean, we would be pretty much okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if it started here, like it like I said, it would depend.
Yeah.
So I think I know enough back roads that I could find you and Dan specifically, and we would be able to get the fuck out of Dodge, basically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, based off of...
if we're talking World War Z, where it spreads like that...
Yeah.
I wouldn't even deal with that. I would
we're
be
all
like...
done.
No, I would...
Goodbye.
Yeah, I would just stop drinking water, probably. Dehydrate myself to death.
I feel like that would really suck.
It would suck, but it'd be quick.
Yeah.
So... Would it? Yeah. If you go about a week without any kind of liquid, you're like not doing great. You're mostly gonna be sleeping. So just because like I can't. This is getting too dark, but like I can't like. I mean, I would probably try. I just don't want to die by being bitten and killed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be awful.
I might, to be honest, just try to hole up in like maybe your guys' place or something like that. Do our best.
Yeah.
Or try to go someplace. I would probably try to go someplace either way. But if it was getting to like I'm a surrounded thing, I would make that choice. That I would not have to deal with being bitten to death. So.
Thanks.
Yep. I don't like pain. Like I abhor it. Like I really like that's the like I am the worst person when I'm in any kind of pain, and I don't want to die in pain. So.
Have you ever died in a dream?
No, I always wake up right before I'm about to die.
I've died in a dream.
I know you have.
Yeah. So like the whole
you die in a dream, you die in real life. No, you don't. I basically died because it's like you hit the ground and you wake up. Mm-hmm. So it's like I've died, but it's like that instant. Mm-hmm. So I've seen people do my funeral one time where I was a ghost. Like I didn't die. I was just like I woke up and was dead.
What was that?
It was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting. It was at a different time in my life, so there weren't that a lot of people at the funeral. So yeah.
Huh.
You were there. You've been in my dreams since high school, so yeah. You were there, you were very sad.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see people in your dream, it's usually somebody that you just like see often, so you're gonna see them in your dreams too. Or they usually reflect a part of yourself. So if you see somebody that you don't usually see in your day-to-day life, think about what that person represents to you, and then kind of apply it to that part of yourself. So if you see somebody that you're like, oh, fuck that stupid bitch. Like, I fucking hate her. She is so self-centered and just like, I mean, I have a person in mind who I've seen in a dream. So like that part of yourself, and then think about what they're doing. So if that person is like being a leader for some kind of team, that's kind of reflective of just like that part of yourself leading something within you. So in that scenario, if you saw somebody that you see as being like really selfish and like self-centered, and they're leading something, that means that the self-centeredness part of you is what's taking control of whatever aspect you're going through in life at that moment. And yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Or if somebody dies in a dream, that's like significant of that part of yourself dying. Either that part of yourself, or if that person is specific to an event, then something about that event kind of like dying or whatever.
Yeah.
So like if there was a hobby that you used to do, and like you like dreamed that the club president died or something, then like that part of you that's connected to that thing is like
It's over.
out of your brain now.
Mhm.
Like you're not really passionate about it anymore.
Your brain literally killed it off.
So like yeah, that's kind of like the idea behind it. I really like it. I think it's so cool, and like I think that's why I remember so many small details in my dreams,
Mhm.
like the specific colors of things. Like I had a dream in high school that I can still remember where I went to like prom and I was wearing I think I was like 15 or something,
Mhm.
and I decided to wear this like silk dress that was kind of like it was like it went off the shoulder like it was kind of this color, but it was silk and a little bit more pinky. And I hate pink.
I was like, that totally does not reflect you
It
now.
does
but
not at all. And I was
it
wearing
makes sense
like,
for when you were that age, though.
yeah. I'm like, well, I
Was-
didn't like that color even at that age. Like
was-
I remember seeing it and being like, this is like my aunt's favorite color. And like I love her and like I think that she's great, but like
Was Taylor Lautner your date?
no. I didn't have a date.
Okay. Side note, she had an obsession with Taylor Lautner when we were young.
We don't need to talk about it.
It was cute.
But my hair was like done up in like a really period piece, like super tight curls, like done up like this, like with little ringlets coming down the sides of my face, and like I had these white gloves that went up to my shoulders, and yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, like that was the whole feel behind it, and I remember being like, why did I choose this? But yeah, like the color of that dress reminds me of my aunt because it's like I don't know, I just associate that color with her. I think it's because like, I mean, she has that color about her a lot. Like I remember her lipstick was almost always that color, and like she had earrings and like her rings. She wears a ton of rings, and because she's Italian.
Same.
Like she's like, you know, when you're connected to your Italian heritage, you just gotta have a lot of rings like all the time. My aunt will tell you this.
No, I was making a face for a different reason, but we'll get to that later.
Excuse me. But
Bless you.
but yeah, so I don't know. I feel like there was just something, and like the super tight curls were something like specific to my aunt too. So I think something about that dream was telling me something about my aunt. I don't remember.
You're reading.
Yeah.
Literally 10 years ago. So.
Yeah. I think. No. He was my date, but the kid that I wanted to be my date was this crush that I had when I was in like 7th grade, when I didn't even live here.
Oh.
Except he was at my senior prom in this date, and I just remember being like, oh my god, he looks so cute. Oh my god. Except he like looked like he did last I saw him in 7th grade. He was just taller.
I don't think I've ever really had dreams where I've been like romantically involved with anybody.
I have.
Like I've never been like, oh, this is my boyfriend or like whatever kind of a thing. It's always
Mhm.
just like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. My brain perpetually wants me to be single, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think on that. It might just not mean a lot to you.
I would think previous to my adult life right now, I would say I would agree. Yeah. I
Mhm.
never really cared about the whole
Mm-hmm.
having a partner or whatever kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was like,
Yeah.
this is what you're supposed to do kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I also like just didn't really have those feelings until I was like 19-ish. So yeah. I was a very late developer in that ball game, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but dreams are fun. I like dreaming.
Yeah.
It's a fun activity. I wish there was like I wish there was like a pill you could take to be like, this is I'm gonna dream tonight kind of a thing. So.
That would be dangerous.
I mean, it would be dangerous because I would take it all the time. But
yikes.
have you ever been one of those people that can you daydream, like go off into like a fantasy world? Like,
Oh, yeah.
While awake.
All the time.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, all the like. I feel like that's, and I mentioned this in a previous episode. I'm pretty sure that's just what I do. Like,
Start
constantly.
daydreaming, go to sleep.
Yeah,
and then just continue.
I've never like considered it daydreaming, because daydreaming to me is just like, oh, I'm hoping for my future. But like my daydreams, I guess, are more just like me constructing all of the physical aspects of what it would take for an alternate dimension to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and like what the consequences of those would be. Like
I space out, but it's usually my brain being like, what do I want to make for dinner today? Oh my god, did I do this thing? I didn't do this thing. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Wait, what about this? Like I'm thinking. I'm not
Yeah.
I'll be like, they're like doing nothing.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, are you daydreaming? And I was like, no, I'm having a panic attack. But like, I think I've forgotten to do something. Like, yeah, it's just like, I've literally been in those moments where you're just like sitting there and I'm like, did I turn off the flat iron? I haven't flat ironed my hair in 10 years. Why did I think that? Like, I can't sit here and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to a fantasy world now. Or like start constructing it. Because my brain's just like, you have other things to be doing. Do this when you're sleeping.
Yeah. For me, it's more like, I'll be there for like a couple seconds, or I could just like sit there for probably a few minutes, like in conversation with other people. Somebody will say something, and then like I'll like, that will spark another thought for me, which will spark another one, and then that's the one that I just like create an entire universe around.
That being said, when I'm going to sleep when I was younger, and even still sometimes as an adult, most of the time I go to bed and I'm like, but like, if I can't sleep, I'll start to construct a world then. Yeah. When I'm trying to like soothe myself to sleep by creating a story. And I feel like when I was very young, that's like usually those stories would then bleed over into my dreams. Yeah. Not the teddy bear one, but like some of them will bleed over, right? Yeah. But like even then I'll be like, okay, this is the scenario, this is what's happening, and then I'll like live in that kind of a thing. But I've never had to be like, okay, this is what it looks like. I'm just like, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is the time period. And then it's just there. Like my brain does it all on its own, and I just kind of go along with the story, directing it how I want it to go. But I never really get far into whatever it is, because I'll fall asleep. And then maybe have a dream about it, maybe have a separate dream, whatever kind of a thing. Yeah. And that's the other thing. I have very rare nights where I don't dream. Like most of the time I'm dreaming. I don't always remember all the details of it, but like usually there's a dream happening. Usually they're just boring, to be honest. Like, I've had those dreams where it's just you go to work and then you wake up and you have to do it again. I hate those. Like, I already did this. I already did it for today. I have a lot of dreams about real life. Yeah. But like, I've told people, I was like, I have intense deja vu moments because I'll have dreams about things that seem real, and I'm like, I don't know who those people are. And then like later on in my life, I'll have that deja vu sense. Like, I had one so intensely, it was like after I was done with my massage school and that kind of stuff, I had friends over, and my friend was telling a story, and I was like, you've told me this already, and she was like, no, I haven't, and I was like, it was after she said that, I knew everything that was going to happen next, and I said it along with her, and she was like, stop it, and I was like, you've told me this before, I'm having deja vu, it's not stopping. Like, for her whole rest of her story, I knew exactly what she was going to say. I knew what our other friend was going to say until she was done. It was the longest deja vu I ever had, but like I had already dreamed, it already happened for me. Yeah. And then Doctor Who is one of my favorite shows, and they had an episode about deja vu where I think the doctor said it best, which is deja vu is remembering in the wrong order, and I was like,
You did that to me once too. In your last place, we were just in the kitchen. And so surprise, surprise, after you're best friends for like 11 years, you're like really intimate with each other. And so like I was making something, like we were making it together, but I was like doing something. I think
I was letting you help in the kitchen, which I rarely do.
True. With anybody, not just me. No. I was either like I went up to you or you went up to me. I think I went up and like I like hugged you from behind, and you're just like, I'm having a deja vu moment, and then you said what I said right after. I don't even remember what it was.
It was something like, "Oh, really?" Like it was like a quick thing. Yeah.
And I was just like, "Stop!" And I think you like said that too, and you're like, "Yeah, I told you." And I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Like it just happened. They're so intense for me because it's like we talked about the world shifting feeling kind of a thing. It's like when it starts happening, my brain just gets like this woo feeling. That's the best way I can describe it. Yeah. And I'm just like, is this reality or am I dreaming again? like that's those sensations, because they're such intense like feelings for me, is the only reason I'm like, maybe we're in a simulation. Because it's like a glitch. Like it doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Like, why do I remember this conversation from when I was like 4? Like, I've had. Are you having a deja vu moment?
No. So, okay, you know how hello. You know how I said exactly what I do all the time, which is come up with alternate universes?
Mhm.
So what if? Okay, I really like come at me, but I like Sword Art Online. I think it's a great anime. It has a lot of work to do to be well. Okay, it's an entertaining anime. It has a lot of work to be great. However,
The concept is cool.
spoiler alert for Alicization. Um, what if we are all artificial intelligence in a simulation and like
Are you saying we're NPCs?
no. I mean like it's a lot easier to explain because it's based in my brain. It's based off of what it's like for this show, Alicization.
Mm-hmm.
So like the main character, the basis of like the first few seasons are that he. Oh my god, I'm digesting like a motherfucker right now. He gets trapped in a VR game because it's just what happens.
Yeah.
And so
I watched the first season, so I'm
Yeah.
aware of the concept.
So in Alicization, he gets kind of like picked to participate in like somebody like made a world in a computer simulation from scratch and kind of like started the main like characters and like all the environment around it, and then just let those things like they're all highly intelligent artificial intelligence beings, and they make like more, and they all have their own minds and thought processes and whatnot in this world, and we as humans can be transported in VR to go into and join them in that world, but then we always come back. So what if this is just like an artificial intelligence simulation run?
That like physically hurts me, because now I'm thinking about all the missing person cases where like they're never found, they're just gone, and there's no explanation.
Or
or when they appear like years later.
I know. Or like kids that are born that like have all the exact information of a past life, and like there've been recorded,
like the character dies and they start later on.
Yeah, but like, or like I guess in our language it would be that some of that data from the previous setting is left over.
Yeah. I don't want to be a simulation. I mean, I guess if I am, it doesn't really friggin' matter now, does it? But
see, this is just like where my
Elon Musk contact us for our ideas. He's the one that's pushing the simulator thing so much. That's the only reason I said
that would be so cool.
So
like okay.
No, he thinks we're in a simulation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I have another idea that's related to artificial intelligence and simulations. I think it would be really freaking cool if, like, in the far distant future, I think it would be pretty cool if we could set up some kind of, like, perfect system wherein everybody kind of, like, lives their life in a VR setting and, like, kind of, like, gets, like, for instance, a day in the life of this simulation would be that you have a job in the real world, but your job surrounds whatever it takes to keep up human bodies and necessities around people to like so that they can thrive in a VR world but have all their basic needs met so they can still survive in this world. So, for instance, like all of our food here would just be like the basic necessities, like probably wouldn't taste very good, like but we get what we need and it's from a sustainable source. But you can go into this VR world system and eat the most delicious food and you can feel and taste that sensation.
But it's not actual food.
No. Or you know, I don't know, you can be like part of a massage therapist or not massage therapist, physical therapist to like kind of helps keep people's bodies moving so they don't lose muscle mass.
I feel like that's just it, but then you're not really living your life. You're living a fake
Well,
life.
With the idea being that the reason why you would live in this VR world is so that we could um, basically keep ourselves sustainable. So you can do everything that you want to do in this VR world. Like you can eat all the burgers in the world and not slaughter a single cow. Like you can, I don't know, what's an activity? Like you can make all kinds of amazing arts and crafts or whatever and not waste a single, I don't know, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
basically
I get that, but
yeah.
like it's just one of those like, what's the point of? Why not just figure out how then to upload your consciousness into this VR world?
Yeah.
So
that would be then I'm always so
like that freaks me out because then people can be controlled too easily.
Yeah.
So
and also like man, I don't know. There's something that just really doesn't feel right to me about uploading a consciousness because
how do you upload a human?
yeah, I mean like first of all, if that existed, like forget all the science that's like how does that even happen? Like if that was possible, um are you uploading a person's soul? Like are they going to be on this earth forever? Cuz like I'm not going to lie, I do want at a very late age, hopefully, to die at some point and go on to the next step, whatever that may be.
Oh, I want to be immortal.
I don't. Oh, I don't want to do that. I
would want to do it if I had the choice to end it whenever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like stop aging, live however long you wanted. Mm-hmm. When I was like, okay, I'm done, or if the world's falling apart, be like, bye.
I don't even want to be immortal with like a young, healthy body forever. Like I don't want that.
That's a discussion for another day, though. Yeah. We're getting a little on, so we're going to end here. Thanks for joining us. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel.
And our Instagram.
Yep, we have an Instagram and Twitter. You can follow us there. We've posted nothing.
One thing on Instagram.
One thing on Instagram, nothing on our Twitter. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us this week. We really appreciate it. We hope you have a happy holidays.